Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name is Kyle. We're going to be looking at the player prop bets for Week 6. We did do decently last weekend. We went 4 out of 5. Let me just pull those numbers up real quick. We missed on A.J. Brown any touchdown. He played fine. He just didn't get the volume and the targets that we saw. It was all Derrick Henry last week. So I did already put again. This link is in the description in the YouTube video. I do have a bunch of bets here that I already put on for the props to consider. We're going to fill out probably our top 5 bets and lock them in tomorrow. But anyways, we're going to be using DraftKings Sportsbook here. We'll hop into each game. We'll look at the touchdown odds and pop into some of the receiving and the rushing total here. So let's look at touchdown scores here for the London game, Miami at Jacksonville. Tua Tagovailoa is getting the start in this one. So it's hard for me to trust Miami Dolphins players because we just don't know what it's going to look like yet. But James Robinson at minus 115, I think that's a pretty decent odds for a touchdown here. And if we're going to bet on any Jaguar or really anybody in this game, it's going to be James Robinson. That's why he's the best listed up here. I do like Jalen Waddle. I like Preston Williams. These are the top 2 receivers on this one. I can see both those guys doing well. Maybe Mike Gesicki makes sense. I guess even Myles Gaskin, like these are the 4 Dolphins that you're looking at here. So if you have any strong feeling on these guys, I personally don't. It could be anything. It could even be a rushing touchdown day or Malcolm Brown for all we know. So it's kind of hard to bet on these things for me. I'm just going to roll with James Robinson. If we just look at the receiving rushing props real quick, J-Rob needs 70. That seems it still feels hard to trust. I'd rather, bank on him getting a touchdown. As far as receiving numbers, Dan Arnold sitting pretty low here at 37.5. I like that number. James Robinson, 15.5, still kind of hard to trust. LaVisca, they got him down at 40.5. So last week he was at 57.5. He hit on his over with that 58-yard catch, but this week that's really low. 40.5 there for LaVisca seems pretty good. Marvin, 55.5, Gesicki, 44.5, Myles Gaskin, 24.5. I wanted to pull up those practice reports real quick because I think the best cornerback for the Dolphins is out. Xavier Howard is out in this one, and Byron Jones is questionable. He's had an Achilles injury, and he's been limited all week. So maybe the Dolphins cornerbacks are something we want to target here. But overall, I'm not too excited to get anything in this game. I did put James Robinson on the list. Let's just move on to a more exciting game. The Chiefs and the Washington football team. It's been a few weeks since Travis Kelce has boomed, and I see Tyreek Hill at minus 150 for a touchdown. I like the Travis Kelce call. He has not scored. Let me pull this up, actually. Travis Kelce, FF today. Let's see. I think it's been 2 weeks since he has scored a touchdown. So I guess he did get that late one last against Buffalo here. So I'm probably going to roll with Travis Kelce in this one. Tyreek Hill does have a little bit of a contusion thing going on. So if you're going to bet on anyone in this game, it's Hill or Kelce. I'll probably roll with Travis Kelce in this one. Daryl Williams, I don't mind it. I think I'd rather prefer taking Antonio Gibson just because we know if Washington gets close, Antonio Gibson's been the goal line back. And he's been on a nice little touchdown streak here. So I like Antonio Gibson in this one. Terry McLaurin, it sounds like he's going to be fine. I know he popped up on the injury report on Friday, but it looks like everything's going to be just fine for McLaurin. So I like that. But if you want something sneaky, Ricky Seals-Jones will score touchdowns plus 250. This one feels pretty good there, and he's going to get the volume. So as far as rushing yards go, and it's hard to trust Gibson, Daryl Williams, and all these rushing numbers. I'm going to look at the receiving odds real quick. Tricky Ricky Seals-Jones, only 38.5. I like this one. Tyreek Hill at 80.5, Kelce 84.5. I don't love him. I kind of like Jerick McKinnon at 12.5. That one feels good. And then Daryl Williams is pretty low here at 16.5 as well. Gibson, maybe the McKissick over, 23.5. I think they're going to be passing the ball a lot more than we expect. So I kind of like the J.D. McKissick number here. Ricky Seals-Jones, I'm probably taking the over on his receptions, but other people are too at minus 145. So interesting game. I think this is going to be a really fun fantasy game, but I like Kelce, Gibson, and maybe Tyreek Hill to score in this one. Let's go to the Rams and the Giants. Interesting game here. No Saquon Barkley, but we got some healthy receivers coming back for the Giants as well as Daniel Jones. Darrell Henderson leading the way at minus 140. I feel pretty good about that. As far as betting on the Cup or the Woods touchdown, I have no idea. Woods has, he's been scoring touchdowns this year. He did not score a touchdown last week with his big game. I kind of like the odds better for plus 110. Or otherwise, Cooper Kupp. It's been a couple down weeks in a row for him. Maybe he gets back into the end zone. So if you're going to bet on any Rams player, those are the 3 guys. Maybe Tyler Higbee. I don't know if I trust it. And then for the Giants here, if they get close, they've shown last week that they were going to give Devontae Booker the ball. So maybe I put Devontae Booker on here at plus 140. And then I also kind of like Kadarius Toney. He's balled out the last 2 weeks, and he hasn't scored a career touch. He hasn't got his first career touchdown yet. So I'm intrigued here with Kadarius Toney. Let's take a look at some of these rushing receiving numbers. Nothing sticks out for the rushing numbers. Let me look at the receiving. Cooper Kupp at 84.5. Robert Woods is pretty low at 62.5. That one's more intriguing than the Kupp number. Kadarius Toney only 48.5. I'd probably take that one. Sterling Shepard pretty low here at 53.5. Just the one that sticks out, I guess, is the Toney one at 48.5. I like that. And then as far as receptions, they don't have anything really for the Giants quite yet. We're waiting to see who's in, who's out. But fun game there. I like Henderson, Booker touchdowns, and then maybe Kadarius Toney if you're feeling risky. The Texans and the Colts. Where's Jonathan Taylor? How much for a JT touchdown? Minus 150. Like this one's almost house money. He's going to score at some point in this game. I don't even want to look at the rest of this game. Let me just see. Jonathan Taylor, I'll take over 80.5 yards. Maybe you take the rushing and the receiving. Like he needs 100 yards in this game. I think that's probably the number that I'm going to hit. And I really don't even know if I trust anything else in this game. I'll probably stay away from that one for prop bets. A more exciting game to look into is the Bengals and the Lions. Let's see these touchdown scores real quick. What are we looking at here? So Joe Mixon, he scored a touchdown last week in limited duty. So I like the Mixon touchdown opportunity here. I also like Chase. I like Higgins. And then I guess I like DeAndre Swift. Like I think I put all four of these guys on the list in this one, especially these Bengals here, Mixon, Chase, and Higgins. Like if the Bengals score, it's probably one of these players. You could see Tyler Boyd sneak in there, but I like the odds for Chase, Higgins, Mixon. I'd probably put all three of those guys on the list. And then if there's one guy that's going to score for the Detroit Lions here, I think it's DeAndre Swift. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon both racked up a lot of fantasy points against this defense last week. I think DeAndre Swift can do the same. Maybe it's T.J. Hawkinson week, plus 175. Jamal Williams. Like these all feel like kind of like more risky bets. I think I'm going to stick with the top four numbers here. And then looking at the rushing receiving props, they don't have anything in there for Cincinnati yet. Receiving numbers, T. Higgins, 60.5. Jamar Chase up here at 76.5. Tyler Boyd's pretty low. Maybe we need more numbers from these guys from this game yet to be put in. But I'm excited about this game. Let me double check the QB props real quick. Joe Burrow up here at 283. I kind of like, I mean, people are hitting the hell out of this Joe Burrow over 1.5 touchdowns. Interesting. Let's move on to another noon game here. Packers at the Bears. If we look at the touchdowns here, Devontae Adams minus 140 to score. I'm probably going to put that one in. Aaron Jones plus 105. Like some really good odds for Aaron Jones to score in this one. I like those numbers. And if there's one Chicago Bear that's going to score, it's probably Khalil or Herbert. The rookie running back here, starting for the COVID Damian Williams. I think these are probably the three best names to bet on for touchdowns in this one. And then looking at the rushing yard, man, they got Khalil Herbert up here at 70.5. No Aaron Jones numbers yet. Receiving numbers, Devontae at 96.5 feels nicely, but I think I'm probably just going to stick with those three touchdown bets. Let me look at the QB numbers real quick. Rodgers at 260. We can't really, bank on him scoring a lot of yards anymore. People are hitting the hell out of this 1.5 touchdown over. And people are hitting the under on the Justin Fields here. So nothing really sticks out as far as these numbers for quarterbacks. Let's go on to the Chargers and the Ravens. We're waiting to see if Mike Williams is going to play this week. As far as touchdowns go, I mean, I like the Eckler touchdown, minus 125. He's been on fire lately, especially when they get to the red zone. Teams really don't know how to defend them. I'm going to probably take the Keenan Allen touchdown. I think Keenan Allen's due for a big game this week. Mike Williams, again, we're waiting to see if Williams is going to play. If he plays, I suppose I'll take a Mike Williams touchdown as an interesting bet here. I think Mark Andrews really popped last week. I think that's probably the one Raven that if there's going to be any Raven to score, I like Mark Andrews. The secondary is pretty good for the Chargers. I think they might actually kind of blanket Marquise Brown. So I think I'm going to probably roll with Mark Andrews in this one. Let me look at the rushing receiving props. Eckler 59.5. I kind of like the Eckler 59.5 rushing. We saw what Jonathan Taylor did last week. They don't really have anything in here yet they're waiting to see what's up with Mike Williams. So if you're feeling risky, go in and get the Keenan Allen numbers right now if you can. And then QB props real quick. Herbert, 290. I don't really feel great about it. Lamar, 2 passing touchdowns over 1.5. That one's kind of fun. If we're expecting this game to be a back and forth, fantasy bonanza, that one's interesting. I'm intrigued there. Rushing and the Lamar is 303. That one's interesting to me. I don't know. Just I would sit with those touchdowns again. We have to wait and see what's up with Mike Williams before we get too excited. Panthers Vikings. I really don't feel great about anybody in this game. If you're going to bet on something, it's probably the Dalvin Cook touchdown, -150. I could see DJ Moore, Justin Jefferson. These are all kind of guest calls. If I'm going to take one, again, the Panthers secondary is pretty good. So I'm a little bit nervous about taking Justin Jefferson. So I might just bypass this game altogether. Unless you guys have good beats or good feelings on this, let me know in the comments below if you guys feel good about any Vikings or Panthers players for this one. I'd probably rather bet the yards instead of touchdowns. I just don't know how many TDs are going to be scored here. So I like the Jefferson over. Probably like the DJ Moore of 79.5 too. The Vikings secondary is pretty beatable. So I don't know. I don't really have any strong feelings on the Vikings Panthers game. Let me know if you guys do in the comments. Cardinals Browns. This one's interesting because no Cliff Kingsbury. There's a couple other coaches out too. So I'm just a little bit nervous about this game. Of course, Nick Chubb's out. Kareem Hunt probably going to be on the list. Odell Beckham. It's so hard to trust any Brown not named Kareem Hunt to score, so I'm not going to pick anybody else. From the Browns, I suppose Kyler Murray rushing touchdown, +150. I'll probably take that. And then the James Conner touchdown, +165. I think these are the two most interesting things that you can look at right now. So I like the Murray. I like the Conner touchdown bet there. Let me look at the rushing receiving numbers. Conner, 38.5 rushing yards. That seems doable. Murray at 26.5. Let's see the receiving numbers here. Hopkins at 71.5. That feels pretty low to me. James Conner just needs basically 2 catches to get that. Nothing really sticks out. Let me know if anything sticks out for you guys in this Browns Cardinals game here. I like the touchdowns of Kareem Hunt, Murray, and James Conner. Let me take a look at the QB numbers real quick. Over touchdowns. I kind of like the passing touchdown. I like Murray for 2 passing touchdowns this week. I just don't know who it's going to be to. Baker Mayfield over 1.5. I don't know if I trust that. Let's see what else we got here on the slate. And I'm just kind of going quickly. I like to bet touchdowns. That's what I've been most successful at the last few seasons. So I'm just kind of calling it how I'm seeing it. There's nobody with minus odds to score here. So this is all kind of big money, more risky bets. Josh Jacobs, if the Raiders score a touchdown, Josh Jacobs might be involved at +140. Actually, Darren Waller right here at +130. Melvin, Fant, all +130. So those are technically the top guys to score. I really don't feel comfortable picking anybody in this game. I'm probably going to pass and maybe look at the props here of the rushing yards. No Javonte Williams numbers in here. That's interesting. I kind of like the Henry Ruggs over 44.5. I like the Hunter Renfrow 51.5. And then for the Broncos receivers, Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick both should have their way. I'll probably take the Patrick over 50 yards. That one seems pretty good to me. And then they got Javonte down here at 70.5 rushing receiving. This one's kind of interesting. I might be inclined to take that one, but I don't know. Broncos Raiders, I don't know if there's going to be too many touchdowns in that one. Let me know if you guys feel good about any of the rushing props or the receiving props. Cowboys Patriots, real quick here. It's going to be difficult for me to take anybody on the Patriots to score a touchdown. If I'm taking one, it's probably Hunter Henry at +180. That's a little bit more of a risk. We're waiting to see if Damian Harris plays. If Harris is out, maybe it's Stevenson that gets put on the list. But for the Cowboys, it's Belichick, so he's going to try to take somebody away from this game. Does he take away Zeke? Does he take away Lamb or Cooper? I don't know who it's going to be. So obviously Elliott's the best bet for a touchdown, but I don't have any strong takeaways or feelings on this one. Let me see. The yards, Lamb at 67.5. Dalton Schultz at 44.5. That's been kind of the hot bet lately. I'm kind of into that one. I don't know. I'm nervous about this one because the Patriots still have a good defense. I don't know what's going to happen in this one. So comment below if you guys have any strong thoughts on the Cowboys and the Patriots. Again, I know I'm not really thorough. I'm just kind of being quick and sloppy right now. But I'm just looking for quick and obvious like touchdown bets that make me feel good. So Seahawks, Steelers, you're going to want to take a Najee Harris probably in this one. And then I'm kind of liking Deontay or Claypool. I think these guys are the clear touchdown bets. So Harris, Deontay, Claypool, choose your weapon. Najee has the lowest payout, if he does score. But I kind of like the Claypool of plus 140. I like the Metcalf at plus 150. And then maybe Alex Collins plus 180. There's maybe going to be 2 or 3 touchdowns on each side in this one. I do like Collins. I like Metcalf for the Seahawks. And then I like Claypool and probably Harris for that side of things. And then I'm just going to finish up real quick with touchdowns on the Monday Night Football game, the Buffalo Bills at the Tennessee Titans. Let me see what we got here. I am going to like a Derrick Henry touchdown, but not really for minus 215. Stephon Diggs is due, guys. Plus 100. I could see Diggs having a big game. You could see Josh Allen getting a rushing touchdown. I could see Zach Moss getting a rushing or a receiving touchdown. I could see Knox. I could see Sanders. Look at all of these guys here. I think that's where you want to be for the Buffalo Bills. Something that sticks out to me is probably going to be Diggs and Zach Moss. I think these guys have been playing really well. Moss didn't score a touchdown last week, so he's probably going to, things are going to probably swing back his way. As far as Tennessee Titans, I'm probably going to continue to roll this A.J. Brown touchdown. It's only plus 150. That's a pretty good payout there. Could see a Tannehill rushing touchdown. Could see Julio Jones get his first touchdown too. So that's really the only names you're looking at. It's Henry, but minus 215. Don't know if I like it. So it's A.J. Brown, Julio, or a Tannehill rushing touchdown. Those are the only 3 bets that I like there. So I'll get some things put up on the fantasyfellowship.com. I'll probably lock these guys in either tonight or tomorrow morning. But again, I'm going to continue to add a bunch of props to consider. So pick your best bets from there. And then I'm going to lock my 5 in there at some point. So thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Saturday. I'm going to be going live tonight, Saturday evening. Probably 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you guys want to hang out, get any questions answered, I'll be there. Just hang out with the Fantasy Fellowship, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks. Peace.